Hello, hola, I'm Marco. Let me tell you about the moment. I'm lying in a hospital bed, counting down from 10, thinking, okay, this is it. I'm doing it. That was me back in August 2021, about to change my life forever. Now, I know, another gastric surgery video, but stick with me. This isn't a before after story. This is about the day I decided to literally have a surgeon reshape my stomach into the size of a banana. Yes, a banana. I'm going to take you through what I remember from that time, the good, the bad, the oh my God, what did I do moments. So if you're thinking about having the surgery, or if you want to support somebody who is, or you're just curious how it goes, I'm going to talk about it. No sugarcoating, because let's face it, I can't have too much sugar nowadays anyways. Let's dive in. Where are my notes? Because I have notes. First, I want to say that in my previous video, I said I had gastric bypass. I didn't have gastric bypass. A gastric bypass is where they take your stomach, make a gastric pouch, and then reroute your small bowel. I had gastric sleeve surgery. That's where they remove about 80% of your stomach and make a small stomach, again, about the size of a banana. So, after deciding that I was going to get the surgery, the first thing I had to do was find a doctor. I first went to Fairfax Innova Hospitals, and there I was told that I had to lose 100 pounds first, which blew my mind, because if I could lose 100 pounds by myself, then I wouldn't need the surgery in the first place. Then I go to Arlington County, and they tell me I have to lose 75 pounds first. Now, the reasons why, from what I remember, they were saying that at the weight I was at, 550, a little more, that it was really risky, that it would be better for my recovery if I wasn't as heavy. And I think they also kind of wanted to know how committed I was, how motivated I was to actually losing the weight. Because the surgery does not fix, quote unquote, fix your obesity issue. It doesn't fix the obesity problem. Eventually, I talked to someone who had the surgery. He referred me to the doctor he went to. I talked to that doctor, explained my situation, and he said he would do it. Great, awesome. Now, he gave me an educational binder for weight loss PDF that went over the process. And I'm going to link that I'm going to link that below if you want to take a look. So, he agreed to do the surgery. And in the first consultation with him, he told me that I'm going to have to do various pre-op appointments to get medically cleared and a psychological clearance. So, the next thing I had to do, or the next thing I chose to do, was at work, I took advantage of FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. The FMLA gives you, I believe, 12 work weeks of leave in a 1-year period to do whatever you need to do. I also used up all my PTO. I was out of work for a few months. I don't remember exactly how long, but it was definitely a few months, because I had appointments to make, I had the surgery to do, and then recovery time. And I needed the time to do that. So, let me think. Okay, so after finding a doctor, after using FMLA at work, got leave, the appointments. Step 3, the appointments I had to make. One of the appointments I had to make was an EKG. That went fine. The only thing I remember from that is that they discovered a right branch bundle block, which apparently is where the right ventricle doesn't close as quickly or at the same time as the left ventricle. Apparently this is not uncommon, and it wasn't a big issue. Some of the causes for that may be the high blood pressure I had, definitely the obesity I had, but they cleared me for that, and it was not that big an issue. A left branch bundle block apparently is more of an issue, but the RBBB, that was okay, they cleared me. Next, I had to get a EGD. Now, where is it? Where are my notes? EGD. Okay, an EGD is an esophagogastroduodenoscopy, aka an upper GI endoscopy. They just wanted to check if my throat was okay, my stomach, my duodenum. They just wanted to make sure everything was okay. What I remember from that was before you get the procedure done, you were given the solution to gargle to numb your throat. Now, my mouth was still generating saliva and I wanted to swallow, but it felt like it was going down my windpipe and not my esophagus. And I felt like I was choking. And I told the nurse this, and the nurse said, "No, don't worry, it only feels that way, you're actually fine." I didn't like how I was dismissed. I felt like she was saying, "Don't be a wuss." I didn't appreciate that. But besides that, the procedure went fine. I passed, they checked me off. Another test I had to do was a lung test. Basically, you go in, you breathe into this tube, you breathe normally, breathe in hard, breathe out hard, and that was it. Again, I passed that with no problem. What else is there? Okay. So, test I didn't have to do. One thing I believe that's part of the process normally is speaking with a dietitian. I don't remember speaking to a dietitian. If I did, it was very forgettable. So I don't think I ever did that. Another test I didn't have to do was a sleep study because I already had sleep apnea. That was already known. I was using a CPAP machine, which is good because sleep apnea, during the night, you stop breathing, which is not advisable in any shape or form, way or form. The CPAP machine pushed air down my throat, which kept me breathing. Yay! But the problem with the CPAP machine was that it dried my throat out and my mouth out. So it got so dry it would wake me up, which kind of defeated the purpose. But still, I just wake up, drink something, go back to sleep. And mind you, I put the CPAP machine at the highest humidifier it would go, still dry my throat out. So I didn't have to do that test. I did have to go for a psychological evaluation. I talked to the doctor gave me some psychologists to go to, and I made an appointment, went in, talked to the psychologist. The psychologist, the questions from what I remember were more along the lines of me understanding how this would change my life, how motivated I was, how committed I was, why I wanted to do this. I think they're also kind of looking to see if I was depressed or if I had some kind of eating disorder. But really, they wanted to make sure that I was mentally prepared, that I knew what I was getting into, and that there would be a shift in how I need to think about things after the surgery. Again, went in, I think it took about half an hour, and I passed, no problem. Okay, so you have medical, you have psychological. Now, the other thing I had to do was talk with my insurance company. I had to fight with my insurance company. Spoiler alert, I lost. So, I go to my insurance company, I have to get the surgery, the gastric sleeve surgery, and they're like, are you sure? I mean, so you say you have knee problems? Have you seen an orthopedic doctor? Okay, how about we put you on a low-calorie diet first? Okay, even my doctor talked with them, and they're still like, are you sure? Can we try this first? Can we try that first? I felt like they were trying to get me through these hoops first. And I understand the surgery is expensive, but I didn't want to go through those hoops. I felt like I had momentum. Like once I made the decision to get the surgery, I had momentum. Kind of like a rocket ship blasting off the launch pad, the initial blast, I felt like I had that, and I didn't want to lose that. And throughout the process, I was still doubting it. I still had like cold feet, like, can I try another diet? Should I try another gym? But I knew those were just doubts, and I did not want those doubts to weaken my resolve. So I decided that I was just going to pay for it myself. I ended up paying a little more than $20,000. Yeah. Retirement. Who needs retirement? They're gonna find me at my desk. Like, yeah. But again, I felt like I was running out of time. I didn't want to go through these hoops, and so I just paid for it myself. Now, should I have fought harder? Should I have advocated for myself harder? Probably, but I didn't want to wait. So I paid for it myself, and I just went ahead with it. Now, after all that is said and done, I was scheduled for the surgery, and my surgery was scheduled in late July. Now, I went and made the appointments by myself. I went to the appointments by myself, but the week of the surgery, a friend of mine came from 5 states away to stay with me for that week. I can't tell you how invaluable that was to me. If you can help somebody like that, I highly advise it. If you feel you want that kind of help, then I would advise reaching out and asking for that kind of help. I did not want to ask for that kind of help because I didn't want to be a burden on anyone, and I was feeling somewhat ashamed of myself, and so I just didn't want to ask for that kind of help. However, I'm very grateful that I had it. Unfortunately, the scheduled date had to be rescheduled. And so basically, my friend came and we had a nice visit for a week. So it was rescheduled, and I don't remember why it was rescheduled exactly. I think it was a scheduling issue. And so it was rescheduled for early August. This time, another friend of mine, she stayed with me throughout the process. She helped me get to the hospital. She stayed during the surgery. She stayed overnight, and she helped me get home again. Again, invaluable. I really, really appreciated that, and I'm forever grateful. Now, just a note, before the surgery, something you have to do is drink an entire bottle of laxative. Let's just say that I'm really happy that my bedroom is right next to the bathroom. And of course, you can't eat anything after drinking the entire bottle of laxative. But okay, so I go to the hospital with my friend. I get checked in. The nurses make sure I am who I say I am. They make sure that everyone knows what procedure is happening, and they check a couple of times. Then the doctor comes in, talks to me, get ready to do this. I get rolled into the operating room, and the next thing I remember, I'm waking up in this recovery area. There are other patients also recovering, and I feel like I was just in a brawl, in a fight. I feel beat up. I'm sore. The anesthesia is wearing off, but I'm feeling a little bit disoriented, a little bit like, what's going on? What hurt? Why am I hurting so bad? Okay, I was there for a couple of hours. Sorry, I was there for a couple of hours. I think. I don't know how long the surgery itself took. I think it was also a couple of hours. And then I was moved to a room. There I was recovering. The nurse came in and explained to me what's going on, and that there was a pain medicine that I could click and have the nurse come and help me with it. What I remember most, and this is again where my friend was really helpful, I was kind of out of it, in and out. I was sore. I was having trouble sleeping, and so I would occasionally wake up. One time I woke up in the middle of the night and I was a bit disoriented. And I remember, okay, I had surgery, but what's going on exactly? And I look over and I see my friend sleeping in this couch area, which couldn't have been comfortable. But I see her and I'm thinking, oh, okay, everything's fine. Everything's good. I know everything's fine. Okay, again, great help. So, spend the night. The doctor comes in the next day, explains to me the surgery went fine. And again, I didn't have any complications. Other people I've heard had complications. I didn't have any complications. Now, what I also remember is the doctor saying that if I eat anything solid, I'm going to die. And they tell you this beforehand. They tell you cannot eat anything solid beforehand. But he felt the need to reiterate it one more time. And I appreciate the reiteration. Because as I understand it, if I eat something, it'll tear the sutures and there's no way for them to get me to the hospital in time. Okay, cool. So I get checked out. My friend helps me get home. And when I get home, one of the first things I do is try and lie down. This was not working for me. In that lying down position, my stomach was just so sore and it was so uncomfortable that I couldn't get any actual rest. I couldn't really relax. So what I ended up doing was going to my desk and just sitting in my chair for like the next 3 days. That was the only comfortable position I found. And I could actually sleep. Not comfortably, but enough to be able to sleep. Now, right after the surgery, one of the things I had to do was take these shots. I think they were blood thinners. And I took one, I found a place on my stomach every day, a different place on my stomach every day, and took shots. Another thing after the surgery, right after the surgery, was I was not a happy camper. I was complaining to anyone who'd listen. I was saying how much I regretted this, how big a mistake it was, how much I spent on it. Anyone that would listen, I was just moaning to. And I understood that I was basically throwing a temper tantrum. And again, they tell you this beforehand. That's part of what the psychological evaluation is about. I knew that I was basically just having a form of buyer's remorse. That it wasn't real, that I wasn't really regretting it. I just was I was just so sore and in pain that I wasn't comfortable. I didn't like it. Yeah. So, but that passes. That passed. Now, at first, right after the surgery, you can't really eat anything at all. The only thing I could eat, the only thing I could drink actually, was this Isopure. It's about, what is it? 90 calories per serving. And I could have about 4 servings a day. Yeah, about 400 calories a day, which was fine. My stomach was really not open to eating anything at the time. And it's a drink. It is not like a shake. It is more like a juice once you mix it all together. Because again, you can't have too much of anything solid. Actually, you can't have anything solid. Even stuff that's like a shake is too much. You're going to have stuff that's like a drink. And I was on this for like a couple weeks, which the other odd thing was that because it's just a drink, I didn't have to, the only reason I had to use the restroom was to urinate for like a couple weeks, which was interesting. So that's what you eat or drink for the first 2 or 3 weeks after the surgery. In time, you're able to eat more dense food. And at first, it's something like this, the consistency of a shake. But then you can get to something like an egg. Let me tell you about eggs. So you can have like a hard-boiled egg or a scrambled egg. Here's the thing. My brain was not calibrated to how much food I could now eat in one sitting. Because before, I could eat like 2 or 3 hamburgers or Big Macs in one sitting. But now, I had to find what I could eat in one sitting after the surgery. And my brain was like, okay, we have 1 egg. Can we have an egg and a half? Can we have 2 eggs? No, you can't. No, you can't. I couldn't have 2 eggs. No, no, okay. Let's just say that the trash can became my new best friend because I would throw up. I would eat too much. I didn't understand quite how much I could eat. And again, you're told this beforehand, but there's a difference between being informed and actually experiencing it. So it took some time to learn how much I could eat in one sitting. And the hard part, another hard part of it, was that as you healed, you can eat more. So 1 week, I could eat an egg easy. The next week, I could do an egg and a half. But could I do 2? Okay, I can do 2. Can I do 2.5? Can you do three? Oh no, I can't do three. Okay, I can't do three. No, okay, no, okay. So as I was able to eat more and more, I had to constantly recalibrate how much I could eat in one sitting. Uh, Nowadays, I have a pretty good idea of how much I can eat, depending on what kind of food I eat. So I don't really have too much of a problem, or I haven't had a problem about inadvertently throwing up in a long time. And different foods have different effects. Like, I love bread and pasta. I love bread and pasta. But I can have maybe one fork twirl of spaghetti, and then that's it. I'm not eating anything for at least a half an hour. Half an hour. But a protein shake, I can have like a full bottle of protein shake, and I can still have a little left over for, I don't know, some cheese. Um, so it does depend what kind of food I have, and I am pretty good at what I can eat now. Okay, so first you just drink this protein drink. Then you can have something like a broth. Then you can have eggs, and then you can have chicken or tuna. You can eat solid foods again. Now, after the surgery and after you've recovered more or less, uh, there are some things you're gonna have to do, or some things I have to do. One, vitamins. This isn't really a problem. Everyone takes vitamins. It's not that hard. There is a website you can go to for people who've had the surgery and get the vitamins you need for after the surgery. Not a problem. The biggest problem that I knew I was going to have was soda, because I am addicted to soda. Not as much as I was before, but I still am addicted to soda. Now, you cannot drink soda after the surgery. I can now a little bit, okay? But if you try it, you're going to hurt yourself. Ask me how I know. Yes, if you try it, you're going to hurt yourself. Actually, you can't eat too much sugar at one time either, because sometimes I might, and if I do, like Halloween, like sometimes I might, and if I do, I'll get sick. My stomach will be upset. So you can't eat too much sugar at one sitting anyways, also. But soda for me was my go-to, because I'm an emotional eater, and soda was the thing I went to for my emotional eating habits, needs. That was one of the harder part about doing the surgery. No more soda. Again, I can drink it now. I have a case of soda in the fridge now, but it's mostly for guests. But before, I would have gone through that in 3 days. It's been there for over a month. So yeah, no soda. The surgery itself, again, is not a fix for obesity. The surgery itself I lost about 70 pounds with the surgery itself, which was great, because as I understand it, every pound off your body is like 4 pounds off your knees. And losing 70 pounds off my body, my knees, I could walk again. That was great. Okay, they were in pain, but they were the normal pain. There was a pain that I understood, that I could work with. It was the pain that was a comfort to me because I knew it. Actually, now that my knees don't hurt, the very first time my knees stopped hurting, that's when I thought something was wrong and I should go see a doctor. But now my knees are fine. I can walk. I can do a squat. I can move, and that's what I really want to do. I want to move. I can move now. Not as much as I want to, but I can definitely do more than I could before. So the surgery is not a fix for obesity. It is a very good tool, but after you recover, now you got to work on diet and exercise. And I'll talk about that in another video. So yeah, that was my experience with the surgery. If you have any comments or suggestions or anything you want to talk about, let me know. Until later, te veo.